Okay, I'm going to finish up decimal multiplication here and now. And basically, we're just following the same rules as we just did with the other ones. We're going to multiply the digits and then place the decimal at the end. Um, it's the same basic principle. We write a line. I want you to get out of that, but we are not aligning place values and decimals with multiplication. With addition and subtraction, yes. With division, we are concerned about alignment of the decimal. But in multiplication, we total them up and we place the decimal at the end when we find the product. Remember, sometimes we will have to annex. Do not line up decimals in multiplication. Now, it may happen. It may happen that you get lucky and they get placed, but it's not a purposeful thing. So here, in this example, they actually do. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to set it up without lines, just to show you that it can be done. So I'm going to put the first number, 3 6/10, and I'm going to multiply that by 4/10 times 4/10. Now, I don't have to put the 0, but I'm going to put the 0 here. I don't have to. I typically won't. And I have 4/10. Now, we just got lucky that they're lined up here. We didn't do that on purpose. We write aligned. Okay, now we go about and we're going to multiply. 4 times 6 is 24. I regroup the 2. Okay, and then I do 4 times 3, 4 times 3, which is 12, plus 2, which is 14. So I'm going to put my 1 there and my 4 there. Now, I don't have to do 0. I'm just, 0 times 6 is 0, 0 times 3 is 0. I don't have to do that. So I'm not going to actually do that multiplication. So I'm going to count. This first factor has 1 decimal place to the right of the decimal. It has the 6. This one has 1 decimal place to the right of the decimal, and that's the 4. So I have a total of 2 decimal places. Now that means in my product, I want to have 2 decimal places. So let's get my decimal. I'm going to put it here. That's where it's understood. But that's 0 decimal places, 0 digits to the right of the decimal place. Here, if I can grab it, here, it's 1 decimal place to the right. That's not 2. I want 2. So I'm going to go 1 more swoop, and I'm going to go right here. So my product is 1 44/100. Okay, now, here's another one that I want to do. This is one that I'm doing because I do want you to see that sometimes in the product we will have to annex a 0. So I have 0 and 6/100, and I'm multiplying it by 9/10. I'm right aligning. Do you see? I didn't even put the decimal yet, but I right aligned. I wanted to put that 9 there. So I am still neat and ordered. Now, I'm going to do 9 times 6, and that gives me 54. Now, some people just write the 54 out. I usually do. But I'm going to do it how some other people do it. They put the 4 here, and they carry the 5, or regroup the 5. Now, this is tricky. 9 times 0 is 0. 0 plus 5 is 5. So it's 5, not 14, not anything crazy like that. 9 times 0 is 0 plus the 5. Now I don't regroup, I don't have anything. So I basically would be done. 9 times 0 is 0, I don't want to put that. 0 times 6 is 0, 0 times 0 is 0, 0 times 0 is 0. So I'm not putting all these zeros. So now I'm just going to go and I'm going to count my decimal places. 6/100 has 2 decimal places to the right of the decimal. 9/10 has 1 decimal place to the right of the decimal. Okay, So I have a total of 3 decimal places to the right of the decimal that I want in my product. Now, if you look, I have 2 digits. That's not quite cutting it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put my decimal, I'm going to put that right here. I have 0 decimal places to the right. I'm going to move it. This is just 1. This is 2. That's not cutting it. So I have to go one more, and I'm going to have to annex a 0 there. I'm going to have to put a placeholder, a 0 there. So now I have my, I don't like when it does that, but it just does. Okay, so I have 0 and 54 hundredths as far as my product. I have 3 decimal places to the right, so I am completed with that. One more, that will do, and this is basically a 2-digit by 2-digit, just to get you used to it. 8 3/10 and 0 and 12 hundredths. Now, I don't need to put that 0 there, but I'm just putting it there. I'm not going to use it when I do my partial product multiplication, but I am going to put it there in this particular problem. Okay, so we're multiplying them. Do I need a rectangle to block out some of that? You know, I'll do it for you, but I'm going to get out of that habit basically in a bit. So I'm just going to put that there. Now we know it's not going to block it out. Oh, it does block it out. How about that? So look at that. I'm ignoring the decimal, and I'm just going to go ahead and start my multiplication. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 8 is 16. You can see I'm being neat and orderly in my partial product. Scoot down a little bit. I'm done with the 3. So I'm going to go to my 1. Go here. 1 times 3. Oh, what am I? I'm going to actually go ahead. I'm going to add my placeholder. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just skipped over here. I know it. So 1 times 3 is 3. And 1 times 8 is 8. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add that. Now I could have done the zeros, but it's not necessary. It's not necessary. We would just have a row of zeros here, and we know that 0 plus the number is going to be that number. So let's go ahead and add these. 6 and 0 is 6. 6 and 3 is 9. 8 and 1 is 9. And now I have to count my decimal places. I have 1 decimal place here, 1 decimal place in my first factor. I have 2 decimal places in my second factor, 2 decimal places to the right. And then I total them. That's for a total of 3. 3 decimal places I want in my product. So I go ahead and I'm actually gonna do my swoops. I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3. So my decimal goes right here. So 996 thousandths. Not bad. 3 decimal places to the right. I didn't worry about the decimal until the very end. Okay, there's another one that a kid did last year, or actually probably 3 years ago. But I want to actually do one similar to that. I want to do a 3 by 2. You could probably stop the tape if you want to, not the tape. Look at that. You could probably stop the video at this point if you don't want to walk. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do a 3 by 2. 3 by 2. And I'm going to do it, what digits don't I have? 9 and, let's see, 3 10. So I have a new problem. This one's a little bit longer. Now I'm definitely going to use my paper graphic for this one, simply because it keeps us neat. You know, those lines are very, very helpful for us. So let me go ahead and set it up. This is going to be long multiplication. Okay, 5 and 67 hundredths I could have gone a little crazier and done it to the thousands, but that's going to take a little bit too long. And we're going to multiply it by 9 and 3/10. I'm basically ignoring the decimals at this point in my life. I'm just going to multiply the digits right now. I'm going to actually do it in color code instead of annexing zeros and things, so or blocking out. So I'm going to do the 3 first. And I'm doing it by color just to keep organized. So I'm going to do 3 times 7. That's going to give me 21. I'm going to regroup, and I'm going to put my 2 here. Now I'm going to do 3 times 6, which is 18, plus 2. 18 plus 2 is 20. So I put my 0, and I regroup. Now I'm going to do 3 times 5, which is 15, plus my 2, which is 17. Now you see, I'm not squishing everything together. I'm spreading it out nicely, keeping it kind of lined up as far as just my neatness is concerned. Okay, now I'm going to go to green. I'm going to do 9. I'm going to do the 9 now. Now, in this case, I'm going to have to annex a 0 as a placeholder. I'm going to put that there. Now, let's go ahead and go through. 9 times 7 is 63. Put my 3. I regroup the 6 here. Now I'm going to do 9 times 6. 9 times 6 is 54. 54 plus 6 is going to be 60. I put my 0 here. I regroup the 6 over here above the 5. The color coding works great because it's easy to look at what I'm working at here too. 9 times 5 is 45, plus the 6 is going to be 51. Now, I would give you permission, if you're new at this, to use colored pencils, if you like the organization. I know you like the colors, but the organization is what I'm talking about here a little bit more closely. Not just the sake to look at pretty colors. It's for the sake of organization in this case. So if you want to use colored pencils at first for long problems like this, that's fine. But try and get out of that habit later on in your lives. 1 and 0 is 0. What am I saying? 1 and 0 is 1. 3 and 0 is 3. 7 and 0 is 7. 1 and 2, 1 and 1 is 2. And then I have the 5 just bringing down. It's basically 0 and 5, but I'm just going to put the 5. I am not done. That's the phone. I'm not going to get it. I'm going to count. This is 2 decimal places here. Probably just bill collectors anyway. I'm just kidding. I pay my bills. This is going to be 1 decimal place here. And we're going to total them up and have 3 decimal places here in our product. So here, a long drawn-out problem, but beautifully done. I put the decimal here because I have 3 place values to my right. Beautifully done. Thank you very much. You can give me your accolades in school.